Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another vintage tips and tricks video. Today I'm going to do the next installment in my vintage setting techniques video, and that is pin curls. Now I know I've done one of these videos before, but that was specifically the basics of pin curling, the 101 of how to do a pin curl set. But today's video is not going to break the actual pin curling of a whole set down for you. What I'm going to do is talk about the two different types of pin curls. Now traditionally in the 1940s, a lot of women like today weren't super pro at doing their hair. So there was like the everyday pin curl, and then there was the sculptured curl. And most of the techniques that you'll see on my channel and on other tutorials on YouTube are the sculptured curl. So I'm going to define the two for you, but if you are struggling with the sculptured curl, you can go with like the everyday pin curl and then work your way up to the sculptured curl. You're still going to get a very classic look, and you're going to look more like an everyday 1940s woman rather than, say, a Hollywood movie star. But there were plenty of Hollywood movie stars who had that kind of messy, unruly look as well. I mean, the early Rita Hayworth look was very free and fluffy. People like Lauren Bacall have very simple hairdos that just have a basic curl, only a few pin curls and then a brush out. And people like Hedy Lamarr had quite a bushy kind of hairstyle. So there's nothing wrong with using the traditional pin curl versus the sculpted curl. Give it a go. The only thing you can't do with the traditional pin curl is a standing curl. It has to be a sculptured curl. So if you're going to try and master the standing pin curl, you really need to master the sculptured curl. At the end of this tutorial, I'm going to do a setting pattern from the GlamourDaze 10 Hollywood 50s Hairstyles ebook that is available for free download from their site. I've decided to do the Hedy Lamarr style. Many of you asked me for a Hedy center part tutorial, so I'm going to do that setting pattern today and show you the final outcome. Of course, the setting pattern is one that you guys can go and get from their website and use yourselves, so I'm not going to like really break it down. I'm just going to talk about the types of pin curl that are used, and then I'm going to do like a speeded up version of the hairstyle, and you can see the final result at the end. Do keep in mind my hair is quite a bit longer than Hedy's, so it won't look exactly like Hedy's hair, but it will have that kind of swept back center part look about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's start with these two different types of pin curls. First of all, I'm going to show you how to do the standard pin curl, which is basically a flat pin curl to the head, and instead of winding it from the end all the way in so that the ends of your hair are sitting inside the pin curl and the pin curl is bigger at the base than it is at the end, is the other way around. You're just winding it and piling on top of your head and then pinning it down. I of course have a few trusty tools for this video. My setting lotion, which is just my Di Lorenzo final setting spray, which is like a pump hairspray mixed with water as my setting lotion. I need to get back into using sugar water though, because I love that. I literally just haven't made the time to make it, which takes like 5 minutes, so that's seriously lazy. I have my teasing brush with the rat tail end, mostly just for separating, but I do like to use it to smooth out the hair before I pop it into the pin curl. And of course, a buttload of pin curl clips. There's hair in there. Gross. So I'm going to demonstrate the standard pin curl on this top section of my hair just so you can see it quite easily, and I'll lean into the camera. My mirror is next to it, so don't be offended if I'm not giving you eye contact, alright? So I'm just going to take a little bit of hair from the front here, this little section like that. Basically, the standard pin curl is simply winding your hair around your finger the way that you've seen me do many times, but each strand of hair is on the outside of the previous strand, so you're literally just winding on top of each other, placing it on your head and pinning it down. Starting down the bottom, winding the hair and placing it on top of the last piece of hair. You see how the ends are now on the outside. I'm going to place my thumb to hold it in place and then scoop my hair off, roll it in, and I'm going to pin it into place. Easy as that. So that is the standard pin curl that was used most commonly by the everyday woman in the 1940s. I personally think it's a little bit harder, like mastering getting the ends on the inside can be a bit tricky at first, but I find with this one, once you try to pull it off your finger, because the hair is wrapped around the outside, the end isn't tucked in, it just kind of wants to spring everywhere and come undone again. So if you can get the technique of the sculpture curl down, ultimately you will find it easier and quicker to set your hair because you're not trying to like keep it all in place without it springing out like a jack-in-the-box. Alright, now I'm going to show you the sculptured pin curl, which is the one that you know well and have seen me do many times. There's two ways of doing this. You can loop the hair around the end of your finger like this, scrape it off and roll down, which is the way I used to do it, but I found it really hard to keep my ends in. So now what I do is I start about halfway down and I wind the hair down my finger so that when I take it off of my finger, see how the ends are down here now? If I scoop from here down, the ends will end up on the inside, without falling everywhere. I find that so much easier. Then you wind the rest of it down, and you want the curl slightly off center, okay? So whichever way that you do it, pop it slightly off center. So you don't want it directly in the center like this, just pop it slightly off center. Like so. It's just going to help you give a bit more volume so that your hair doesn't kind of spring straight into a curl straight out of your head. It's going to give it a nice kind of swoop. Yeah. So that's a standing pin curl. Or you simply lay it on its side and pin it down for a flat pin curl. So I personally think that technique of winding it down your finger is so much easier. The other thing you can do is if you're struggling to get it off of your finger and keep it all together, is to start further down, wind all the way down your finger, place your finger where you want the pin curl to sit, as I said, slightly off center, and then scoop the hair off and onto that spot. So much easier, yeah? And then pin it into place. Done. So now that you guys know the difference between a standard pin curl and a sculptured curl, let's get into this Hedy Lamarr setting pattern. This is going to use the sculptured curl because I'm going to be doing standing pin curls at the top along the front section here, and then at the back I'm going to be doing sculptured pin curls but laying flat and going in the direction either way coming forward. You always roll towards your face with a flat pin curl. Okay, so I have parted my hair down the center all the way down the back, as you can see, and I have spritzed it with some setting lotion, and I'm going to get started. So the first thing I need to do is create 2 rows of standing pin curls that come all the way down to my ears, and the second row, the back row, is going to go just behind my ear, and then it will meet up with 2 rows of pin curls at the back here. So I'm not covering my entire head with pin curls, I am just doing the outskirts of my head essentially. So let's section off this hair. I'm going to work on this front section first. I don't want too deep a sections because my pin curls will be about that much hair each. So I'm going to go to about here, and I'm going to separate to just that little bit extra way behind my ear. Like so. Make sure I clip this section back so that it doesn't accidentally get incorporated. Then I'm going to separate this section into 2. So I'm just going to make sure I can see clearly where my delineation is. Alright, so halfway is about there, and I'm going to go just to where the back of my ear starts. Does that make sense? So where that little fold is. Now I'm going to separate this section off. So I'm just going to look at the side of my face where I've got this kind of squaring off of my hair, and I'm going to separate it to there. So I'm going to aim for about here as my top section, and then I will have 3 pin curls going down here as per the setting pattern. I'm going to separate this in half, and here we go. I'm only going to talk through this side because you'll know what to do. It's exactly the same on the other side, considering it is a center part hairdo, and then I will talk through the back before finishing off. And we are going to roll away from the face, so we are rolling this way. Finger in, remember to go right near the base of your finger and wind down. My hair is a little bit dry, but I'm not going to worry too much about putting any more setting lotion in it because my hair seems to set pretty well, but you might want your hair to be a bit wetter than mine. So roll down to the end of the finger, scoop the hair down so that the tip of the hair is on the inside. Whoops. If it's come out, tuck it in. And then put the pin curl slightly off center. So I'm not putting it here, I'm putting it toward the back because Hedy's hair swoops back like this. So I don't want to put it at the front, otherwise everything will fall forward. Sometimes you just gotta make it do what you want. And again, rolling away from the face. If you don't do it too tightly on your finger, it will be much easier to get it off. Again, sitting that curl slightly back on the separated section of your hair. Now I don't have a lot of hair at the front section here, so I'm making very, very small sections, but you can put more hair into your pin curl. It will work just fine. It's just that I don't have a lot to work with through this part of my hair. I'm very thick through the crown and through the back, but I'm a bit sparse at the front. In fact, I probably can't even manage 3. I'm gonna do 2. So sad. Probably could have done less in the top 2, but there's still not a lot of hair in either of those either. the wetter your hair, the easier it is to pin curl as well. But I'm making this video with a very limited amount of time, so I need this to set. Just throwing my pin curl clips everywhere. So let's work on this back section. I had to move my mirror because my camera was overheating with my lights and now I can't see as easily. So that's fun. Just doing the same thing, working my way down. Alright, so this one, as you can see, is behind my ear, so it will be the last one that I do of the standing pin curls. I'm going to do this other side and then I will be back with you for the back section. It's so easy to tell which side I did on camera and which side I did in front of the mirror. Like, camera, it's okay. Mirror, I look like I actually know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, guys. Just do what I say, you know what I do, you know? So the back section is basically 2 rows of pin curls rolling toward the face. So I'll be curling this way. They're all standing flat, but they'll be curling like so. Same thing this way, rolling toward the face, so I'll be curling that way, curling that way, curling that way at the nape of the neck. So I've separated the 2 sections out and I'm going to pin curl this section. Basically I'm going to do 3 across. I'm going to lay it flat, I'm going to pin it here. I have no idea if you guys can see what I'm doing or not. Rolling toward the face, finding that other pin curl. What we girls do for beauty, eh? Alright guys, so that is the back section. I'm hoping it doesn't look rubbish. I'm going to do the other side and I'll be back with you very soon. Alright, so I have done the back section on both sides, and again, it looks way better on the side where I did it in the mirror. Surprise, surprise. But I think so far it's looking pretty good. I've deliberately followed the setting pattern as is, so I've done the amount of pin curls at the back that it says in the setting pattern, but I have very long hair at the moment and my hair is very, very thick through the back. So I think if I did it again, I would probably do a lot more pin curls through the back. I'd separate it into maybe like 6 in each row on each side, but I'll see how it turns out. I really wanted to do the pattern as it was, as you guys are probably going to be doing it as it is, but you know, don't be scared to make alterations for your hair type. I'm gonna go make some dinner and I will see you guys for the brush out. All right, I am fed, my hair is dry, and it is time to check out how this went. Hopefully well, we will see. Okay, true to the era, I haven't sprayed it, I've literally just brushed it out. It is very fluffy, and that is Hedy Lamarr's style. If you look at pictures of her, her hair was very kind of frizzy and fluffy, and there's a lot of curls just kind of swept back from her face. So from the back, it looks like this. See, it's got plenty of volumes, like an early 40s Hollywood style it had. And I think it was a very good set. I think it's very authentic and looks very much like Hedy Lamarr, even on someone like me who has much longer hair. I think it works very, very well. So this is the first time I've done anything from the GlamourDaze setting books, or setting patterns. So, so far, very impressed. If you guys try this out, make sure you tag me, tag GlamourDaze, of course. As always, you can come and join us in the Vintage Tips and Tricks community. Come and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I do little vintage tip and trick tidbits there. That was a tongue twister. If you like this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that little notification bell so you know when my videos come out. And I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye.